Ano ba ang sinasabi ng Biblia tungkol sa pagpapakasal?
Ano ang sinasabi ng banal na kasulatan tungkol sa pagpapakasal? Ang marriage o ang kasal ay hindi galing sa tao. Noong nagkaroon ng mga gobyerno at batas, they only recognized marriage as something that was already in place when they came into being. Sapagkat ang marriage o kasal ay nauna pa sa pagdating ng mga bansa sa mundo. Before they came into being, marriage was already in existence. In fact, sa banal na kasulatan sa Mark chapter 10 and verse 6 ay ganito ang sinasabi. But from the beginning of creation, God made them male and female. For this reason, a man shall leave his father and mother and shall be joined to his wife, and they two shall become one flesh. So then they are no longer two but one flesh. Therefore, what God has joined together, let no man part asunder. Yan mismo ang marriage. So before any nation came into being or into existence, or any human government for that matter, mayroon ng kasal o marriage.
Ang tinig ni Bishop Ruben Abante ng Lighthouse Bible Baptist Church and Ministries. Para sa mas malalim na kaalaman sa panuntunan ng Biblia sa usaping ito, bisitahin ang website ng Philippine Council of Evangelical Churches.
1116 DXAS, your community radio. Kasama sa araw-araw, kakwentuhan, kaagapay, kaibigan, kabarangay. Ito ang radyo mo. 1116 DXAS, your community radio. 1116 DXAS, your community radio.
Este el DXAS FEBC, de ustedes Radio Comunidad, ta serví para conectar gobierno, privado y mga miyembro del comunidad. DXAS 1116, de ustedes Radio Comunidad.
Ahensya de Konsensya, serbisyo publiko para sa iyo, ka-Pilipino.
So yan ang oras sa buong Pilipinas, 1:30 ng hapon. Mapagpalang araw sa lahat ng nakikinig at tumututok sa mga programa natin dito sa 1116 DXAS, your community radio. Panibagong araw at pagkakataon na naman para tayo ay makapagbigay ng mahalagang impormasyon mula sa iba't ibang ahensya ng gobyerno. Kayo ay nakikinig sa programang Ahensya de Konsensya, ang programang nagsisilbing tulay ng komunidad at gobyerno. Ako ang inyong lingkod, Dave Budlong, mula sa tahanan ng OFW, ang Department of Migrant Workers, Regional Office 9. Tuwing araw ng Biyernes ay makakasama nyo kami, ang Department of Migrant Workers. So binabati ko po ang aming Regional Director na si Ma'am Gay Iris Tan Sanchez Tangkalagan at ang aming Honorable Secretary, Attorney Hans Leo J. Cacda. So sali po kayo sa ating usapan. Kung may tanong, komento o mensahe, ay mag-text sa 0916-296-6625 o kaya naman ay mag-comment sa 1116 DXAS FB page at i-follow ang FB page ng Department of Migrant Workers, Regional Office 9, ang DMW RO9. So ngayon, pag-uusapan natin ang mga updates sa Department of Migrant Workers. So ngayong buwan ng Disyembre po, nagse-celebrate tayo ng Month of Overseas Filipino. So ano nga ba itong Month of Overseas Filipino? The Month of Overseas Filipinos has been observed every December since Corazon C. Aquino signed Proclamation number 276 in 1988. So it is meant to recognize and honor the many overseas Filipinos, including OFWs and Filipino migrants. So they often face challenges like cultural adjustment, homesickness, and separation from family. So now we celebrate their resilience, patriotism, and their role as Global Filipino Ambassadors. So more broadly, the Month of Overseas Filipinos strengthens the bond between the Philippines and its diaspora, encouraging engagement, reintegration, and recognition of overseas Filipino workers' contributions to the overseas community and to our home country, especially in the remittances po, no? So in the regional office, we have the DMW9 will align local activities with national efforts while focusing on the unique migrant workers landscape in Zamboanga Peninsula and Basulta. So we have planned our OFW information caravan, bringing services and programs closer to local communities, so LGUs and OFW help desk. So reintegration and welfare assistance session, orientation on livelihood, skills training, financial literacy for OFWs. So of course, our anti-illegal recruitment and trafficking in persons campaign. So we have expanded our prevention efforts in coordination with LGU, law enforcement, and partner agencies. So and also, it is important to recognize the OFW success stories from Region 9, featuring OFWs who have contributed significantly to their families, communities, and local development. So we also have our interagency collaboration this month, strengthened partnership with our LGUs in Zambasulta. So coordinated service delivery. So just a recap, no, bakit po ang DMW is part of the month of overseas Filipinos? Because the Department of Migrant Workers is the executive department of the Philippine government tasked to protect the rights and promote the welfare of the OFWs. So ang departamento po namin ay created by the virtue of the Republic Act number 11641, which was signed by our former President Rodrigo Roa Duterte on December 30, 2021. So ayan, the DMW is mandated to facilitate the overseas employment and reintegration of Filipino workers or OFWs while taking into consideration the National Development Program of the National Economic Development Authority or NEDA. So it is also tasked to promote the empowerment and protection of OFWs through continuous training and knowledge development. So ano nga ba yung mga major services ng DMW para sa mga OFW? So first, we have our reintegration program. We have our action fund. So for January to November, nagkaroon po kami ng 136 beneficiaries across the region, no? Ito po siya. Sa Del Sur pa lang pala po ito siya, sa Del Sur. So a total of 16,658,000 ang aming na-distribute sa Zamboanga del Sur. Sa Balik Pinay naman, Balik Hanap Buhay sa Zamboanga del Sur, nagkaroon kami ng 163 beneficiaries, totaling to 1,630,000. Sa aming Livelihood Development Assistance Program naman, nagkaroon kami ng 22 beneficiaries at total of 220,000 pesos. At sa Pinas, ikaw ang ma'am at sir, my favorite program. 60 beneficiaries po. Etong 60 sila, nagkaroon na po sila ng plantilla item sa Department of Education through the SPIMS program ng DMW or NRCO. So hindi lang yun, hindi lang plantilyang nakuha nila, binigyan din po namin sila ng financial kits through financial teaching kits through financial assistance po amounting to 20,000 each. So 60 sila, total of 1,200,000. So sa protection programs naman, nagkaroon kami ng maraming airtip campaigns. More than 4,000 katao ang naabot namin dito sa Region 9. So we have 93 legal assistance sa Del Sur, 7 rescue operations, total of 107 ang na-rescue namin sa anti-illegal recruitment and trafficking in person. So, yan. So, next topic natin is since month of the overseas Filipinos, so bakit nga ba ang OFW nagsisik ng employment abroad? So, why do many OFWs continues to seek employment abroad? And how is the DMW responding to their needs? So, bakit nga ba maraming nag-a-abroad? So, many residents of Zamboanga del Sur continue to pursue overseas employment due to a combination of economic, social, and aspirational factors. So, kasama na dito ang limited local employment opportunity. Alam naman natin po na konti lang yung trabaho dito sa ating bansa. Kaya despite growth in agriculture, services, and small enterprises, Many skilled and semi-skilled workers in the province still face challenges in finding stable, well-paying jobs. So overseas employment offers higher salaries than yung mga local government, local works natin, local jobs. So next, we have the desire for financial stability and better living condition. Of course, lahat naman tayo gusto gumaan yung buhay. So OFWs dito sa ating region, they want to earn to build homes, to support the education of their children or their siblings, pambayad sa utang, pay debts, or start small business para ma-reintegrate dito sa community. So ang remittances ng OFW remain a major driver of economic activity dito sa ating Pilipinas. Siyempre, importante talaga yung remittances. So number 3, lack of specialized local industries. So maraming skilled workers natin, particularly yung mga welders, seafarers, construction workers, caregivers, and hospitality staff find more opportunities abroad because the domestic demand for their skills may be limited. So next, we have the influence of community networks. So sa Region 9 has long established OFW communities, marami tayong OFW groups. Success stories of relatives, neighbors, and friends working abroad often motivate to follow the same path. Diba? Meron tayong mga common paniniwala na kapag nag-abroad, malaki ang pera. So ganun ang mga paniniwala ng mga gusto mag-abroad. So ang response natin dyan, so the Department of Migrant Workers continues to expand its presence and services across the region that aspiring and returning OFWs receive timely, safe, and accessible support. So ano-ano nga ba yung iba pang response ng DMW regarding dito sa mga many OFWs na nag-seek employment abroad? So first, in-strengthen namin ng OFW help desk namin sa mga municipality namin. So we work closely with LGUs to ensure that OFW help desks are fully functional, bringing services closing to communities and reducing the need for long, costly travel to the office, yung mga main office namin. So intensified anti-illegal recruitment and trafficking in persons campaigns. Ito yung to protect ng mga job seekers natin, especially in high-risk rural areas. So nagkakandak kami ng community orientation, barangay level information drives, employer verification guidance, ensuring safe and migration pathways for Zambasulta. So next, deployment of fast, accessible pre-employment services. So through coordinated initiative with our NGA partners and other local government units, so we conduct job fairs, pre-employment orientation seminar or PEOs, contract verification of course para assure natin na tama yung mga documents ni OFW, and nagpo-post kami ng mga advisory namin regarding our government-to-government hiring or SRAs. So of course, ang number 4 namin, ang action namin dyan is reintegration assistance for returning OFWs. So in partnership with OWA, with DOLE and TESDA, meron kaming mga livelihood programs, financial literacy workshop, skills training, and employment referral assistance. So itong mga programang ito, we help returning OFWs build sustainable lives in their homes. So last naman po is enhanced accessibility through provincial partnership. Ito na po yung mga help desk natin. So yung mga help desk natin, they are now allowed to case intake, welfare assistance, documentation support, and referral sa ating mga government agency. So next naman po, topic natin, how is DMW addressing illegal recruitment and documentation issues affecting migrant workers? So the Department of Migrant Workers is taking aggressive, coordinated, and community-based measures to combat illegal recruitment and trafficking in persons and documentation problems that continue to affect aspiring migrant workers, especially in geographical dispersed area like Zambasulta. So ano nga ba yung ginagawa namin ng DMW regarding dyan? Of course, ang intensified anti-illegal recruitment and trafficking in persons campaigns namin. So we conduct regular information drives sa mga barangay, sa school, sa LGU, sa mga communities, yung lalo na sa mga vulnerable areas to illegal recruiters. So we aim to educate our job seekers to how to verify employers and job orders, how to check licensed recruitment agencies, yung mga red flags natin, red flags of trafficking and scam operations, proper documentation requirements for safe migration. So, special focus din natin is given to island municipalities natin and coastal areas where unauthorized recruiters are operating. So, next naman po is the expansion of our OFW Help Desk. So, yan po, dahan-dahan po natin ginagawa yung pag-establish ng OFW Help Desk sa ating mga communities through our LGU. So, ayan, we ensure that the OFW Help Desk are accessible to the public for verification of overseas job opportunities, validation of agency legitimacy, referral of complaints, guidance on processing legal documents. So, itong mga help desk na to, they serve as the first line of defense against illegal recruiters. So next, we are doing active enforcement, investigation, and case filing. So yung AirTip team namin dito sa Region 9, we coordinate with DOJ, PNP, NBI, and Coast Guard, LGU, and any law enforcement to identify, monitor, and prosecute our illegal recruiters. So we also facilitate and assist on the rescue operations, complaint handling, and legal support for victims. So number 4, ensuring proper documentation and legal pathways. Of course, our processing division, we continuously guide aspiring OFWs on accurate requirements. So kasama na dito ang pag-verify ng kontrata, mga approved job orders, valid visa and work permits, country-specific deployment requirements. So ito po nagmi-minimize ng number of workers living through irregular channels. So lastly, yung digital tool na po kami ngayon, Goodbye OEC, Hello OFW Pass na po para sa mga balik manggagawa. So ito po sila, hindi na po nila kailangan pumunta sa mga opisina ng DMW para makuha ang kanilang OEC or tinatawag nating OFW Pass na ngayon. So pwede na po mag-download sila ng eGov app at hanapin lang po ang Department of Migrant Workers doon. At mag-generate na po doon ng OFW Pass. So next topic natin naman, sino ang nagmo-monitor ng condition ng OFW dito sa Region 9 kapag na-deploy na sila overseas? And how does DMW ensure accountability and swift action when problems or abuses occur abroad? So ito pong mga problema abroad or sinong nag-check ng mga condition ng ating mga OFW na deploy. So monitoring the welfare and protection of OFWs in Region 9 is a shared responsibility of several DMW units and Philippine government offices abroad. So these coordinated structures ensure that OFW remain protected throughout the entire cycle of migration. So first, we have sa overseas monitoring namin, ito ay led by our Migrant Workers Office or the MWO doon sa ibang bansa. So, tawag dito dati is POLO. So, the Migrant Workers Office is a primary front line for units overseas. So, they closely monitor the condition of OFW by conducting welfare case tracking, visiting OFWs in workspace, shelters, and hospitals. So, coordinating with employers, foreign recruitment agencies, and host countries' authorities. So, sila rin po ang nagre-respond sa mga complaints and emergency na natatanggap dito sa region. They also provide legal and contract assistance. So ang MWO, they serve as the direct link between the Philippine government and the OFWs abroad. So next, meron din po tayong coordination with the Philippine Embassy and Consulate. So yung Migrant Workers Office natin works side by side with the Philippine Consulate, and assistance to national teams. So ito sila yung mga office na nag-a-assist sa diplomatic interventions, custody or rescue operation, repatriation, jail visit, facilitating negotiations with host governments, so para ma-ensure yung full government approach to migrant protection. So next naman po, ang kasama rin po sa pagbabantay ng ating mga OFWs ay ang DMW Central Office at ang Regional Office na nag-handle ng case escalation and immediate response. So ito po yung ang Regional Office po nagmamanage po ng case reporting from families, documentation concerns, endorsement sa MWO, kami po nag-endorse sa mga reklamo ng pamilya na nare-receive, continues to follow up until resolution. So ang DMW 9, we serve as the support systems for family left behind. So in-ensure namin na ang concern nila will reach the correct overseas post. So next naman po, ang immediate case response protocol. So from urgent cases, abuse, trafficking, and contract violation. So ayan po, nandyan po ang MWO nagpa-follow ng strict timelines like 24/7 emergency hotlines, rapid coordination with host country or authorities, shelter placement for displaced OFWs, medical and psychosocial support, and legal counsel or hiring of lawyers when needed. So isa rin po ang nagbabantay sa ating mga OFWs abroad is ang ating mga foreign recruitment agencies and private recruitment agencies. So ito yung mga licensed by DMW, our partners in ensuring the safe, legal and ethical deployment of Filipino migrant workers. Both operates under the strict regulation of the Department of Migrant Workers and are required to comply with the standards prescribed under the RA 11641. So ano nga ba yung mga role ng ating mga PRA dito sa Pilipinas? So ang PRA ang nagsiserve as the licensed local recruiters responsible for facilitating overseas employment of Filipino workers. Ang mga responsibility nila includes recruitment and pre-deployment processing. So sila nagkakandak ng legal and transparent recruitment activities. Sila nag-ensure ng job orders are valid, approved and verified by DMW. Sila rin po nag-evaluate ng applicant qualification at nagpro-provide ng accurate and truthful job information. So sa documentation ng OFWs naman, sila nag-a-assist sa workers natin in processing required documents such as employment contracts, visas, medical requirements, DMW clearances, pre-employment orientation seminar, PDOS, CPDEP, yan, ensuring complete and correct documentation bago sila ma-deploy abroad. So sila rin po ang nagko-coordinate sa ating mga FRA or Foreign Recruitment Agency, yung kanilang counterpart sa abroad. So ang FRA naman po mag-match ng mga qualified job seekers to employer requirements, ensuring that the FRAs adhere to the MW regulations. Sila din po nagpa-facilitate ng communication between worker and yung mga overseas employers. So sa worker protection naman natin, sila ang nag-ensure na workers are deployed only to verified and legitimate employers. So nagpro-provide din sila ng pre-departure guidance and education, assisting workers and families in case of disputes, contract issues, or complaints. So sila din nagme-maintain a response mechanism or worker welfare case. So sa accountability naman, ang mga PRA natin, sila ang legally liable for violation of recruitment rules, contract breaches, and unethical practices. So they may face, pwede silang masuspend, ma-fine, or makakancel ang kanilang lisensya for non-compliance. So ang contract compliance naman natin, ito yung nag-ensure na ang employers follow the approved employment contract including yung salary and benefits, working hours and leave entitlements, accommodation and food provisions, safety and welfare standards, at sila rin po nagmo-monitor ng welfare. So they are acting the first line of support between employers and the OFWs, addressing complaints at workplace. So ayan po, yan. Pagkatapos ng ilang paalala at magbabalik ang Ahensya de Consensya kasama ang Department of Migrant Workers dito sa 1116 Your Community Radio.
Uy Mare, di ka maniniwala. Naalala mo si Aling Maria? Yung kapitbahay natin? Yung nakatrabaho sa Saudi?
Oo, kumusta na siya? Wala na akong balita sa kanya eh.
Naku, kakauwi lang niya last week. Tapos sabi niya, may kilala siyang recruiter. Sabi pa nga niya, kung gusto daw nating mag-abroad, pwede niya tayong tulungan. Mabilis makakaalis, walang poproblemahin, at maaahon natin sa kahirapan ang pamilya natin.
Talaga ba? Pangarap ko talagang kumita ng dollars para sa pamilya ko eh. Sigurado kang matutulungan tayo nitong recruiter ha?
Sigurado yan. Binigay na ni Aling Maria sa akin ang contact number ni Madam. Siya yung recruiter. Okay talaga to si Madam kasi mabait daw at maraming koneksyon sa Saudi at Dubai.
Sandali lang. Pag-isipan natin itong mabuti. Nasabi ba ni Aling Maria ang detalye ng trabaho, kontrata at mga babayaran bago aalis? Alam niyo naman, maraming mga illegal recruiter. Baka imbis na magandang buhay para sa pamilya ay trahedya ang maging bunga nito.
Ang nega mo naman. Sure ako dito. Okay na to.
Wait lang. Huwag makontento sa okay na to, lalo na kung tungkol sa pagtatrabaho abroad. Alamin ang tabang proseso ng pag-abroad. Huwag basta maniwala sa mga pangako para hindi maging biktima ng illegal recruitment at human trafficking. Protect yourself, protect your family, and protect your future.
Bago maniwala sa nagsasabing okay na to, bumisita sa Department of Migrant Workers o DMW para sigurado ka. Bisitahin ang kanilang official website o tumawag sa kanilang hotline. Your safety and your future are worth more than empty promises. Don't take the risk, be informed, be safe.
Ang paalalang ito ay hatid ng Department of Migrant Workers Region 9 at ng 1116 DXAS, your community radio.
When the angel Gabriel came to Mary to tell her that she would bear God's son, Scripture tells us that she was greatly troubled. Gabriel at once said to her, "Do not be afraid, Mary." His news? That the period of Israel's judgment was ending. Mary would bear God's son, Jesus, the Savior and Messiah, who would inherit the throne of his ancestor David and bring God's everlasting kingdom to earth. This message, "Do not be afraid," is a refrain in the Christmas story. Appearing to a frightened Zechariah, Gabriel comforted the priest with the words, "Do not be afraid. Your wife Elizabeth will bear you a son." Zechariah and his wife Elizabeth were astounded, not knowing what the future would bring, but God made it clear that they were not to be afraid. After Jesus was born, shepherds near Bethlehem were filled with great fear at the appearance of a glorious angel of God. But the angel said to them, "Do not be afraid. I bring you good news of great joy that will be for all the people. Today in the town of David, a Savior has been born to you." Their joy was to cast out their fear. More than 1,000 years earlier, God told his servant Joshua not to fear Israel's powerful enemies. "Be strong and courageous. Do not be frightened, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go." The prophet Isaiah said that Jesus would be called Emmanuel, which means God with us. Remember this: God's powerful, loving, and gracious presence is with his people no matter what they face. And so his church can say with Mary, "Behold, I am the servant of the Lord. Let it be to me according to your word." Think about it. What are your deepest fears, and how does knowing God is near comfort you? How does God's love and presence give you purpose? Christ the Lord, a Christmas meditation from Third Millennium Ministries and FEBC Radio.
Este el DXAS FEBC, de ustedes Radio Comunidad, ta serví para conectar gobierno, privado y mga miembro del comunidad. DXAS 1116, de ustedes Radio Comunidad.
Ahensya de Konsensya, serbisyo publiko para sa iyo, ka-Pilipino.
Ayan, nagbabalik po ang Ahensya de Consensya kasama pa rin ang Department of Migrant Workers. Ako pa rin ang inyong lingkod, si Dave Budlong, ang Regional Information Officer ng Department of Migrant Workers, Regional Office 9. Haba. So status ngayon, pag-usapan natin ng status ng illegal recruitment cases and protection programs dito sa Region 9. So ang DMW Region 9, we continue to intensify our AIRTIP or Anti-Illegal Recruitment and Trafficking in Persons campaign. So our mandate is to provide proactive protection to aspiring and returning OFWs through community education, direct assistance, and coordinated operation with the law enforcement. So ang accomplishment po namin dito sa Region 9 from January to November, sa aming AIRTIP campaign, nakakonduct po kami ng 67 major anti-illegal recruitment and trafficking in person campaign information drives. So ito po yung isang one-day activity each with open forums, case presentation, and guidance on safe migration. So nakapag-reach po kami ng 14,968 individual. Ito po kasama yung mga job seekers, LGU partners, and community leaders. So wala po talagang shortcut sa pag-a-abroad. Dapat sumunod po tayo sa tamang proseso. So sa legal assistance provided naman namin, 93 ang individuals na assist namin with legal advice, documentation, case filing, and referral to partner agency. So yung mga concern nila usually is contract substitution, recruitment fraud, non-deployment, and illegal collection of fees. So next naman po ang rescue operations namin dito sa Region 9. 7 po ang coordinated or joint rescue operation ng aming na-conduct with the law enforcement. 107 po ang na-rescue dito sa ating mga rescue activities sa Region 9. So sa 2025 naman po, nakapagsara po kami ng isang establishment na illegal na nag-recruit. Ito po yung Visa to America Consulting Agency. So ito po sila visa consulting po sila, pero under surveillance namin, nagkakandak sila ng job hiring. So, ang DMW9, we remain vigilant in protecting our kababayans from illegal recruiters and human traffickers. So, prevention, intervention, and prosecution, yan po ang tatlong haligi ng aming serbisyo. So, next naman po, yung mga programs natin for OFWs in crisis situation, yung mga OFWs natin na nagkakaroon ng problema abroad. So, we, the DMW, we provide round-the-clock assistance to distressed OFWs and their families, especially sa mga emergencies abroad. So, first, we have our Action Fund, or what we call the Agarang Kalinga at Saklolo, para sa mga OFWs na nangangailangan. So, ito po yung crisis response mechanism ng Department of Migrant Workers para sa mga OFWs in emergency. So, nagpo-provide po kami gamit ang Action Fund ng immediate repatriation, welfare assistance, medical support, legal assistance, case management, at iba pa. So we ensure the coordination with our Migrant Workers Office, the OWA, the DFA Post, and Philippine Consulate. So ito po, na-activate po ang Action Fund namin. Ginagamit siya kapag ang OFW ay nasa distress situation, in abuse or maltreated, emergency repatriation, legal or employment dispute, hospitalization, or medical emergencies abroad. So, kung may problema abroad, may action fund agad mula sa DMW. So, next naman po, may update po tayo sa mga OFW natin na bumabalik abroad, lalo na yung mga balik manggagawa. So, update po namin dyan for travel. Goodbye OEC. Hello OFW Pass. So, ito po yung digital replacement of the Overseas Employment Certificate, yung OEC natin. So, ito po, na-access po siya sa NGA tab ng eGov app na available sa Play Store and App Store. So, i-open nyo lang po ang eGov app, open nyo yung NGA tab, tapos i-select nyo po yung DMW at click balik manggagawa. So, kapag kompleto na po yung verification nyo doon, requirements, so itong OFW Pass natin is valid for 90 days po. So, bago kayo umalis, dapat siguraduhin nyo lang within 90 days po yung pag-alis nyo. So, ang benepisyo po nito, digital na siya, hindi mo na kailangan mag-queuing dito sa aming opisina, mas secure kasi nasa eGov app siya, at faster airport processing. So, the OFW Pass brings convenience, transparency, and efficiency. So, isang malaking hakbang tungo sa digitalization migration services. So next naman po yung mga program line-up ng Department of Migrant Workers Regional Office 9. So we are gearing up for expanded services to ensure greater accessibility of migration-related assistance. Magkakaroon po kami next year, January, ng inauguration of our OFW Lounge. Diyan po sa Zamboanga International Airport. So this is a dedicated space for departing and arriving OFWs. So amenities included. May comfortable working area, may charging station, consultations, and frontline assistance. So, next naman po is mangyayari sa aming office is magta-transfer po kami to a bigger office. Dito pa rin po sa Zamboanga City. So, to provide improved accessibility and a larger client area and a more efficient service environment. So, full integration of frontline and administrative units. So, lumalaki na po ang DMW 9 family kaya kailangan na po namin lumipat sa bigger office. So, soon po i-announce po namin ang exact location ng aming bagong opisina. So, next naman po, patuloy ang establishment ng aming OFW Help Desk across Region 9. So, ito po, located po sila sa ating mga key provinces, sa mga cities. So, sila po ang mag-provide ng pre-employment orientation, legal assistance, case intake, documentation guidance, and referral services natin. So, after that po, ma-establish na po ang mga help desk natin, magkakaroon din po ng capacity building para sa mga OFW help desk officers. So, iti-training namin ang mga focal person namin and mga PESO manager para ensure na standardized and accurate ang mga migration information na binibigay nila sa mga OFWs. So, our 2026 initiative aim to bring DMW services closer to every community in Zamboanga Peninsula and Basulta region. Yan. Next po, year-end reports namin for 2025. So, out of 100%, 97% po cases resolved. So, lahat po ng reklamo ng family ng OFW sa amin, 97% po yan ay resolved. 3% is ongoing. So, mariresolve lang din po namin yan. So, dito po sa aming regions is same-day action po kami. So, once na nagreklamo ang family sa amin kung ano nangyayari sa OFW abroad, diretso po isi-send po namin yan sa Migrant Workers Office para ma-notify na ganito ang nangyari at magkaroon agad ng action. So, total number of OFWs served namin dito sa Region 9 as of January to November 2025 is more than 50,000 OFWs and their families ang na-serve, including legal assistance, OFW processing documents, welfare, repatriation, at ang help desk namin. So again, yung 7 coordinated rescue operations namin, naka-rescue kami ng 107 individuals na muntik na ma-fall under illegal recruitment and trafficking in persons. So nakapag-provide din po kami ng employment opportunities, nakapag-supervise kami and joined 35 job fairs na nag-offer ng more than 30,000 job opportunities. Yan. So next naman po is ang aming information and advocacy campaigns. So ngayong December 15 to December 19 po, 4th founding anniversary of the Department of Migrant Workers po. Week-long celebration. So nationwide po ito siya. Nationwide celebration recognizing the contributions of the OFWs as modern day heroes. So activities include OFW appreciation programs, legal and welfare assistance caravan, financial literacy sessions, skills upgrading and livelihood promotion, partnership events with LGUs and the private sector. So ang DMW ay itinayo para sa OFWs at patuloy naming pinapalakas ang serbisyo, proteksyon at oportunidad para sa kanila at kanilang mga pamilya. So yan po yung mga so far na mga announcement namin dito sa Department of Migrant Workers. So ayan po. Kung may kailangan po kayong tulong sa amin, pwede nyo pong i-contact ang aming hotline 062-992-1773. So, ngayon naman po itatakal natin ang Omnibus Guidelines ng aming Action Fund. Kung sino-sino nga po ba ang pwedeng mag-claim sa amin ng financial assistance. So first form of assistance, displacement due to economic downturn, including recession and or massive layoffs in the host country, bankruptcy of the company or employer, policy shift, involuntary separation from employment due to retrenchment or downsizing, closure or cessation of operation and redundancy. So meron po kaming assistance kung yan ang nangyayari sa OFW. Meron po kaming one-time assistance amounting to 50,000 pesos po. So next naman po, displacement due to natural calamities or impacts of climate change such as extreme weather conditions, severe storms and increased drought, or human-induced emergencies, disasters, and epidemics and pandemic na nangyari sa abroad. So one-time availment po, makaka-receive si OFW ng 50,000 pesos under the Action Fund. So next naman po, kapag si OFW ay naka-experience ng termination of employment contract initiated by the employer or the OFW provided na hindi kasalanan ng OFW or kasalanan ng employer. So one-time availment po, mabibigyan si OFW ng 50,000 pesos. So next naman po, kapag si OFW ay na-expire ang kanyang work permit or endangered siya na TNT siya or being jailed or deported or ejected from the host country, one-time availment po, pwede pong mabigyan si OFW ng 50,000 pesos po. So next naman po, kapag si OFW ay naka-experience ng cases of forced labor, contract violation, illegal recruitment or trafficking in persons or fraud, makaka-receive si OFW ng one-time availment of 50,000 pesos po. So next naman po, kapag may pending labor, criminal, civil, immigration, and other cases before judicial, quasi-judicial bodies, tribunals, or offices at the host country kung saan sila nagtatrabaho, including but not limited to labor disputes kapag labor problems or any problem din arising from employer-employee relationship, immigration problems, cases of exploitation and other crimes, one-time availment po, makaka-receive si OFW ng 50,000 pesos. Next naman po, kapag si OFW afflicted with medical illness or injury na non-severe, including OFW returnees who suffer from a disease, injury, or disability within 1 year ng kanyang pag-uwi sa Pilipinas. So one-time availment, makaka-receive si OFW ng 50,000 pesos. So next naman po, kapag ang next of kin ay kapag ang OFW is incarcerated abroad, ang next of kin niya po ay makaka-receive ng one-time availment of 50,000 pesos. Next naman po, kapag na-displace si OFW due to war, armed conflict, political unrest, extreme racial discrimination, and or breakdown in peace and order in the host country or other extraordinary circumstances, one-time availment po, makaka-receive si OFW ng 75,000 pesos po. Next naman po, kapag si OFW ay nasa death row, ang next of kin or pamilya ni OFW ay makaka-receive po ng one-time availment rin po, 75,000 pesos. So next naman po, kapag si OFW ay nagkaroon ng severe or serious illness or injury or mental health condition, including OFW returnees who suffer from a serious disease or disability within 1 year ng pag-uwi niya dito sa Pilipinas or 1 year pa lang siya dito sa Pilipinas umuwi, one-time availment po is 75,000 pesos pang matatanggap ni OFW. Ito naman po, next naman po tayo. Kapag si OFW ay nagkaroon ng forms of abuse, maltreatment, exploitation including rape, kidnapping, or other crimes, one-time availment po makaka-receive si OFW ng 75,000 pesos po. Next naman po, kapag si OFW ay namatay sa host country or saan siya nagtatrabaho, ang next of kin po ay makakatanggap ng 100,000 pesos po. So next naman po, kapag si OFW is namatay within 1 year na nandito siya Pilipinas, so for example, umuwi siya noong January, within 1 year na nandito siya Pilipinas, makakatanggap po ang family ng 100,000 pesos po. So next naman po, kapag si OFW ay nabiktima ng balikbayan box scam, makakatanggap po siya ng one-time availment ng 30,000 pesos. So ito naman po, kapag si OFW ay may final exit sa kanilang host country at umuwi po siya na senior citizen na po siya or 60 and above, makaka-receive po siya ng 10,000 pesos. So ito naman po, kapag OFW is in distress at may kailangan gawin sa DMW office or sa OWA at kailangan nila ng food, transportation, medicine or temporary accommodation, pwede po silang mag-avail ng 5,000 pesos po from the Action Fund. Yan. So ito naman po, bago rin po ito. Kapag si OFW or their next of kin displaced or severely affected by natural calamities, mga calamities natin dito, mga bagyo, emergencies or disaster or epidemics or pandemics in the Philippines, makaka-receive po si OFW or ang kanyang next of kin ng 5,000 pesos po as calamity assistance or emergency assistance mula sa Action Fund. So ngayon naman po, i-mention ko po lahat ng mga requirements sa ating Action Fund. So kapag kayo po ay nag-claim ng death and burial assistance, ang requirements po dyan is RFA form or request for assistance form na makiklaim dito sa opisina, passport or travel document ni OFW, proof of overseas employment, death certificate, at SENOMAR ni OFW. So ang claimant naman po kailangan meron siyang proof of relationship niya sa OFW na siya ang next of kin, may valid ID rin po siya, at saka waiver of rights kung magkakapatid po yung nagkiklaim. So kapag sa medical assistance naman po, si OFW ay nangangailangan ng medical assistance, ang mga requirements po natin dyan is ang passport, travel document kung walang passport, proof of overseas employment, at medical certificate. So mga OFW naman po na na-distress abroad, so ang kailangan po nilang ipakita rito sa opisina ay ang passport or travel document nila, proof of overseas employment, at proof of distress po, kung ano yung proof na may nangyaring distressful situation sa kanila abroad. So ito naman po for the balikbayan box scam assistance, kailangan po magpakita si OFW ng passport or travel document, proof of overseas employment, at saka proof of balikbayan box transaction, yung resibo or yung waybill po. So next naman po sa ating senior citizen assistance, kailangan po passport, travel document, proof of overseas employment, at saka age proof po ni OFW. Pero pwede naman po yung passport dahil makikita naman po yung age doon, at saka ang kanyang final exit visa. Next naman po sa calamity assistance. So kailangan po ulit ang passport ni OFW, proof of residence or barangay certificate, OFW document, official document showing calamity status. Ito po yung mga announcement ng LGU na state of calamity. Tapos sa claimant naman po, kailangan may proof of relationship po. Kung next of kin ba sila ni OFW, valid ID, at saka authorization letter po mula sa OFW na pwede nilang i-claim ang financial assistance. So yan na po, kung meron pa po silang tanong or may iba pa po silang concern, kailangan mag-claim ng assistance dito sa opisina namin, wag po kayo mahiyang tumawag sa aming hotline 062-992-1773. Itin po 062-992-1773, or maaari pong pumunta sila dito sa aming opisina sa Department of Migrant Workers Region 9. Meron po kaming opisina sa Zamboanga City, Canelar, sa Pagadian C3 Mall, at saka sa Tawi-Tawi po. So ayan. Yan na po ang aming updates dito sa DMW. Maraming salamat po sa ating radio technician, si Kuya Romel at si Sir Rolando Alfonso. So abangan po natin ang susunod na programang Doctors Online. Magkarinigan tayong muli dito sa Ahensya de Conciencia tuwing 1:30 ng hapon mula Lunes hanggang Biyernes. Ako ang inyong lingkod, Dave Budlong, ang Regional Information Officer ng Department of Migrant Workers. Ang Ahensya de Conciencia ay kasama nyo sa pagtataguyod ng tapat at mahusay na serbisyo publiko.
Inyong napakinggan ang programang Ahensya de Conciencia. Para sa mga katanungan, mensahe o suhestyon, mag-text o tumawag sa 0916-296-6625.
Paano nga ba naipapasa ang HIV?
Ang HIV o Human Immunodeficiency Virus ay isang kondisyon kung saan nagiging mahina ang immune system na lumalaban sa sakit. Ang HIV ay karaniwang naipapasa sa pamamagitan ng pakikipagtalik, pagsali ng dugo na infected ng HIV, natusok ng karayom mula sa HIV-infected o nakikigamit ng syringe sa taong nasuring positibo sa HIV. Maaari ring maipasa ng nanay ang HIV sa panganganak o pagpapasuso. Hindi ito naipapasa sa pamamagitan ng pakikipaghalikan o pakikipagyakapan, pakikipagkamay, pakikipaghiraman ng mga kutsilyo at tinidor, tasa o baso, mga upuan sa banyo, mga lamok o iba pang insekto. Ang mga HIV positive ay madaling kapitan ng sakit, kaya't dapat na mag-ingat.
Ang paalaalang ito ay hatid sa inyo ng Department of Health at ng Far East Broadcasting Company, Philippines.
Panyera, ko sa man to taase kon ese